Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your continuing coverage of the group stages of the Defense 2, brought to you and organized by joinDOTA, commentated by Toshley, and powered by Razor and BenQ. Go take a gander at the-defense.com for all the details you need to know about this tournament, as well as don't forget to check out joinDOTA.com for all sorts of fantastic Dota 2 related goodness. And last but by no means least, another requisitory shout out, shameless plug, and so on and so forth for the companies of Razor and BenQ. They sponsor this tournament, ladies and gentlemen, and thus deserve as much publicity as humanly possible. Anyway, we're going to continue on with the group stages. As I mentioned just a few moments ago in the Defense 2 tournament, as I also just mentioned a few moments ago, we have the Copenhagen Wolves playing on the Radiant side, a team hailing from the lands of Denmark. I believe I once incorrectly said that they were from Sweden, which is very inappropriate of me. I think it explains this. There's this one guy from Denmark that disliked all my videos. I think it was him. The guy that saw that video and was like, "They're not from Sweden, they're from Denmark, I hate you!" So it was well warranted, because it was a big mistake, I shouldn't have done it. Anyway, the Copenhagen Wolves, formerly known as the TTB, the Tough Bananas, a team that sort of came out of nowhere and started killing people. I covered them a bit earlier. There was a few games that they played early in the Defense 2 tournament, and they did fantastically. Anyway, they're going against the Americanos Bottom, yes indeed, playing on the Dire side. And jumping straight into the draft, we have the Copenhagen Wolves having Bottom have first pick. Copenhagen Wolves banning out the Lycan, which is standard fare, and the Darkseer. Bottom taking out the Chen, taking out the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight very understandable, because we've seen the Copenhagen Wolves be very, very effective with the use of that Chaos Knight. I believe there was a game where they weren't that effective with it either as well, so still, they're good with it. Take it out. It's a good idea from Bottom. It's a solid hero overall anyway. And the next two heroes to be banned out of them is Chen and Nature's Prophet. So we've got those powerful, pushing, jungling heroes being taken immediately out. And the Copenhagen Wolves pretty much doing the same thing. Darkseer not a jungler though. Split lane solo side pushing machine that's horrible to kill and will push your towers down if you let him stick around. And another pushing hero being removed from the fray for the Copenhagen Wolves, that in the form of Leshrac, which makes me a little bit sad because he's one of my favorite heroes to watch. He's just such a solid hero. So much AoE damage to come out of him, as well as a good amount of disables. Well, just one AoE disable. It needs to be timed and so on and so forth, but it's still a disable nonetheless, and it synergizes very well with other abilities that the team might have. Bottom having first pick and immediately snatch up that Invoker, a man who can play a variety of different roles. He can push, he can tank, he can support, although that's a bit of a waste of his abilities in my opinion. He can disable, he can do an awful lot. He can dish out massive amounts of AoE damage, as well as assist out in single target attacks, and he has, in the form of his Sunstrike, assuming you build him to Exort Quas, the Sunstrike gives a little bit of global assistance, really. If there's a gank going on somewhere, you can help out with a Sunstrike, maybe even kill someone that's running away. So it sort of adds a third of a hero. If there's a 2-man gank going on, it becomes a 2.3-man gank, because the Invoker can Sunstrike someone, assuming you hit them and get it right, and so on and so forth. Bottom having the next couple of picks, we're already ticking into their bonus time, and they haven't picked a hero at all. We're thinking long and hard about these next couple of picks, yes indeed. And what do they want to go for in their current composition? Do they want to go for something that's more single target focused? Do they want to go for more raw pushing power? There are still some really strong heroes in the mix. Broodmother, Enchantress. I'm really surprised neither of them have been picked rather. So Shadow Demon going to be the very first pickup. I'm going to pick up a Brewmaster as well. Nice composition. Not bad. I wouldn't expect a Brewmaster for the very first pick, but I'm pretty sure the Copenhagen Wolves are big fans of that Brewmaster. I hope I'm right. I'm probably not, but nevertheless. And Shadow Demon is a solid, aggressive support hero all around. Really good. He's got the Purge to remove buffs and debuffs. He has that Disruption, a 2.5 second disable, which scales well into the late game. And of course, that Soul Catcher, which does an amplification of damage onto the target that it hits. He's an incredibly good hero. And of course, the Shadow Poison, which is really good for giving vision. And the next couple of picks, we are waiting on the two final picks for the first stages of picking, coming from Bottom. And who do they want to combine with this Invoker? Good question. Broodmother. Yeah, Broodmother's a really obvious pick. I'm so surprised the Copenhagen Wolves didn't pick her up. This is going to put pressure on the Copenhagen Wolves, because it means one of their lanes will be perpetually pushed. they will have to dedicate resources into shutting down this Broodmother. However, Broodmother's a curious pickup because Broodmaster's really good against Broodmother. That clap, you get a Soul Ring, you clap the hell out of the lane that you're up against in Broodmother, and all of a sudden you've got all this golden experience because you're killing her Spiderlings, and Broodmother can't push because she doesn't have the army of Spiderlings. So if Broodmother and the Broodmaster, lane together, go up against each other rather, Broodmother's going to have a difficult time, assuming Broodmaster can get the farm that he needs, which he most likely will. All he has to do is get that Soul Ring, clap, 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 all the Spiderlings die repeatedly. So it was a curious pickup nonetheless. It's probably why Broodmaster was picked up, just in case, well, Broodmother's in the mix. Maybe the Copenhagen Wolves don't like playing Broodmother, so how about we'll pick up Broodmaster, which is really good against Broodmother, and we'll go from there. So the next pickup is going to be that of, I forgot to mention, the third and final pickup to come in from Pot and Bottom is that of the Windrunner, with the Copenhagen Wolves following that up in the form of the Tidehunter. So we have a lot of tanky team. We're good in team fights right now, the Copenhagen Wolves. We have that Ravage as well as a tank ability to come in. Don't forget the Anchor Smash. We have a lot of utility come out of that Tidehunter. Ravage, Anchor Smash, as well as overall tank ability. And the same can be said for the Broodmaster. You have that split, you have that Thunderclap, the I forget what it's called, the Mischance, Brew, makes Drunken Haze, that's the one. So we have really good team fight engagements. However, we don't have that much push. In the meantime, Pot and Bottom have lots of push. We have some single target focus to come in from the Windrunner in the form of that Shackle, and we've got lots of push that can come out of the Broodmother and the Invoker, assuming he goes Quas Exhort, but we'll have to wait and see how he does build that Invoker. Could go Quas Wex, which wouldn't be very effective against the lineup because they're not mana dependent. If there was a Leshrac in there, then yeah, Quas Wex would be really good, but not so much in this case. The next couple of bans to come out in the second and final phase of the banning setup right now, we have a Earthshaker to be banned out by the Copenhagen Wolves, and we have SK and Beastmaster, both very understandable pickups because they probably don't want to give the Wolves any more ability to survive in team fights, or give them any more team fight power, and currently what the Copenhagen Wolves have is a lot of team fight capabilities. The Wolves banning out Earthshaker, yeah, that can work. I can understand that one. I'm really surprised Enchantress has yet to be picked or banned. Enigma gonna be the final pickup, and that's fairly obvious with Pot and Bottom banning out that Beastmaster. One of the things Beastmaster is great at is stopping anyone that has an ulti that goes... No. Let me think about that for a second. Anyone that has... God damn it, brain is not functioning quite properly today. If you've got an ultimate, a powerful ultimate, and you BKB so you can't be interrupted, Beastmaster's Roar goes through BKB. Why was that so difficult to say? I have no idea. But taking out that Enigma, it's pretty obvious. If they're taking out a Beastmaster, it means they obviously want to use Enigma, or someone with, like SK, someone with an ulti that typically you go BKB so you can ulti with impunity. You don't need to worry about getting stunned, but if you have a Beastmaster there, then you're still going to get stunned. Yes, indeed, unless you, of course, catch out that Beastmaster. Another one that's good against Enigma is actually Rubric, because you steal that black hole and you cast it back at them. Easy peasy. Doesn't matter if they're BKB. Actually, if it's BKB, I'm pretty sure the BKB doesn't stop the spell steal. Pretty sure. But if it did, well then, disregard everything I said just then. However, it is an ultimate. Ultimates have a tendency of going through BKB. And Enchantress is finally going to get picked up. It's very strange that she survives to this later stage of the game. The Pot and Bottom now have a lot of push. A lot of push. And the Copenhagen Wolves, sure, they have mid-game teamfight capabilities, but there's not much use of that if all your towers are just dying repeatedly, which is exactly what's going to happen. It's exactly what's going to happen. God damn it. Something's wrong with me today. It's exactly what's going to come out of Pot and Bottom is lots and lots of push. And the Copenhagen Wolves are probably now thinking, we need counter push. We really need counter push, because if we don't have any, we're going to lose all of our towers. 10 minutes into the game, all of our tier 1 towers, some of our tier 2 towers will be gone. In fact, Pot and Bottom could probably take an easy tier 1 tower. So VS going to be the next pickup to come in from the Copenhagen Wolves. They're playing the hard support, the role of support, yes indeed. And what do both teams want for their final? I think Pot and Bottom is just going to go for more push, because they've got a nice amount of push already. They've got a Broodmother, they have the Enchantress, which provide tons of push. Invoker can push as well once he gets 4 points in Quas and Exhort. And of course, Windrunner, not really a pushing hero, but good in team fights, good in ganking, and so on and so forth. As for the lanes, I'm thinking we're going to see a... well, we'll have Broodmother going solo off lane, of course. We'll probably see a tri-lane with Enchantress, Windrunner, and someone else. Enchantress would spend time either in her own jungle or in their jungle, like killing, well, stealing their creeps and using them to gank. So the fifth and final pickup has to be someone that can go, that can synergize with that tri-lane. Invoker's most likely going to be taking solo mid. Or maybe they want to use Invoker with the tri-lane. They're going to go with Dazzle. So yes, indeed, we are going to see this tri-lane down the bottom. It's going to be very difficult to kill with the extra reinforcement to come in from that shallow grave, which comes in from Dazzle. And the lanes to come in from the Copenhagen Wolves are a bit... I'm not entirely sure on them, actually. We could see... I'm going to guess we're going to try and put Broodmaster up against that Broodmother. It depends where the Broodmother goes, though. Could go top, could go bottom. We'll have to wait and see. As for... I'm actually really uncertain as to the Copenhagen Wolves and their lanes. We'll most likely see VS... Shadow Demon and Tidehunter tri-laning it up together, and now they're choosing their solo mid. Because they go together nicely, especially anyone with... You've got Disruption, you've got the Magic Missile, which is not only a stun, but it does a large amount of damage. And then, of course, well, Tidehunter doesn't really have any disables, but I guess he can do a bit of damage. So Mirana is going to be a hard carry role to come in from the Copenhagen Wolves, most likely going to be taking up the role of, the lane rather, of solo mid. She has that escape ability. She could, however, go into the tri-lane. We'll leave Tidehunter in mid. That would make more sense. Tidehunter, get that Ravage up as fast as possible, and the tri-lane down the bottom will have 3 disables. We'll have the arrow, we'll have the magic missile, and we'll have that soul catcher. So that's a more sensible lane to come in from the Copenhagen Wolves. Tidehunter mids always feel it's a little bit strange, however, to be entirely honest. It does work out nicely. Get that Ravage up as fast as possible, and you can engage in team fights. Pause, as we usually do here on the defense and on pretty much all tournaments to be found within Dota 2. We pause at the start of the game for no reason. Most likely to discuss strats. Anyway, let's have a look at who's playing who. Over on the Copenhagen Wolves side, we have Mirana being played by Calculus. We have Brewmaster being taken up by the... I'm having trouble reading these names. By Balsam. We have the Nano playing as the role of Shadow Demon, with S4 taking up the role of Tidehunter, last by no means least. We have Dickinson playing as that VS. Over on the Dire side, over on bottom side, we have Frog taking up the role of Invoker, Twitch TV/Sneaking, taking up the role of that Windrunner. We have Kizzles playing as the Enchantress, Aoi_2000 playing as that Broodmother, and lastly, what the hell is that? Vodka, what? I don't even know. That guy's playing as Dazzle, ladies and gentlemen. And the game has resumed. It was a short pause indeed. Are we going to see Broodmother in a tri-lane not going solo, and Windrunner going... This was unexpected. This was really unexpected, but... I guess it's understandable, because actually Tide is not going up against... Brewmaster is not going up against that. I was entirely wrong about these lanes. Holy hell. Holy hell. Completely wrong. I'm really surprised to see Broodmother tagged up with a support, because she's normally fine on her own. However, they probably suspect that Brewmaster is going to be going up against her, and as a result, she's going to need a little bit of help. But... actually, I don't know what to say. I was so incredibly wrong about these lanes. So we have Tide going solo top. We have, not sure what the hell Shadow Demon is doing, having a dance with the donkey, so it seems, taking up the role of solo mid. We will have the Brewmaster. Looks like he might be supported by that Tide. And down the bottom, we're going to have VS and Mirana. The lanes that come in from Wolves are definitely not all that predictable, and the same can be said for... Oh, it's alright as it is. It's fairly semi-standard for pot and bottom. This tri-lane at top alongside Broodmother is just strange. Maybe Dazzle's going to roam? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like a solid roamer. So Enchantress is indeed going to be in her own jungle. I was expecting them to be lurking it out in their jungle, especially considering the fact that they don't actually have a jungler. Nevertheless, very slow start to the game thus far. No one really lurked around in search for first blood. We're just sort of sitting back. We're playing it safe right now. Dazzle hiding in the sidelines. I'm not sure if they're expecting a Dazzle to be here, but maybe they are. Maybe this lane... disregard everything. The Shadow Demon is indeed going to be supporting this Brewmaster over in the middle lane. Going Quas first. Disruption already going to land there as well, and the Kega Smash going to come down as well. Invoker should be absolutely A-okay. The Quas giving a little bit of extra regen. I doubt they're going to take him down. A couple of right clicks getting them down there when he can. And the Healing Salve going to bring him up to full very, very quickly. Thunderclap. That's the name of that. In the meantime, it looks like we're getting in a position for a gank on this Windrunner. However, Windrunner is a slippery individual and might be somewhat difficult to take down. It looks like we're going to go for Windrunning out of their Magic Missile to come in, get a stun down there on her. No arrow to follow up. It seems we went leap first, so no arrow to come in. And VS just going to land a couple of right clicks, but is not going to get the kill. Magic Missile, no mana for another Magic Missile at all. Time we're exchanging hits over in this top lane. And we can already see the army very steadily being built up there for the Broodmother. In the meantime, Disruption here to land on the, well, First Blood has been spilled. The Brewmaster has taken a fall. And with an Ursa Warrior and the Satyr, yeah, it's understandable that First Blood was spilled. It's a powerful duo that the Enchantress has in hand right there. In the meantime, Windrunner is getting caught out in the tree. Magic Missile to go down as well as an arrow is indeed going to follow. A second stun to come in and is blocked by the creeps. Can't get out. Windrunner is on cooldown, leaping ahead, and Windrunner is going to take a fall. Mirana securing a kill right there over at the bottom lane. Things have settled down on both accounts. Invoker 3-0 right now in the last hit department in comparison to the Shadow Demons 3-2 and 4-1. Seems to be doing an alright job in the last hit. It's not really having too much problems just yet. In the meantime, double damage should be secured here by the Shadow Demon. Looks like we want to go on this Invoker. Will the damage be enough? We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, Enchantress rotating the top has a Centaur Khan in hand. Looks like we want to go on the Tidehunter. However, we need to remember that with that Kraken Shell, taking him down is going to be a harder task than imagined. And a Satyr Warrior being taken up again. It looks like we're going to go on the Invoker. Disruption to follow, but the damage there is just not enough. Curse going to land as well. A couple of right clicks will do a nice chunk of damage with that double damage, but it is not going to be enough. And Invoker will be absolutely safe. A bit of harassment, but nothing more than that. We're going on the Tidehunter once again. The Kraken Shell absorbing a lot of damage, but the Poison Slow comes down as well as the stun from the Centaur Khan. And the Tidehunter takes a fall very rapidly. Tidehunter is going up against hell right now. Enchantress is so effective at ganking when she has some nice creeps on her side. And since we have a nice little army of creeps and spiderlings, we are going to push this tower. And this tower will take a fall if defense doesn't roll in soon. And TPs are being had. Tidehunter is back in. He's just going to die again. He can't take on this force. Look at this. Look at this. He has to run away, run the hell away from the tower. And now they're just going to go back on the tower. If Tidehunter tried to defend, they'd kill him. And here they're going to go on him again. He seems it hasn't learned. Gush is going out, and the Shadow Poison is going to land down as well as a slow to come in from the Enchantress. And a couple more right clicks will take him down. However, the wand heals him back up to safety. Shadow Poison touch, yes indeed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now pushing our way close to this middle tower. However, I don't think Bottom is all that feared of this. In the meantime, Bottom are going to secure their first tower over at the top lane. Fortification is going to drop down. Is it going to matter? I don't think it will all that much. Creep Wave is being intercepted here by the Broodmother. Will be rapidly taken down, and the Creep Wave up the top should finish off this tower with the assistance of Enchantress. Tidehunter is still unable to do anything about this, and as a result, he has only 5 last hits. In comparison to that Broodmother, 22-3. 11-2 on the Dazzle. The support has more last hits, which is definitely not a good situation to be in. In the meantime, Invoker took a fall over in the middle lane. And we're going on the Windrunner once again, eating a tree. A couple of right clicks being dealt by both parties. However, no serious damage has been dealt by either one. And Brewmaster is making a way over to the bottom lane. Looks like we want to assist on a gank on the Windrunner. However, the Creep Wave is just pushed too far forward. Tidehunter getting a not so great situation once again. Is the Brewmaster still going to move into position? No, wait, where the hell did he go? Oh, he's returning back to the lane, okay. They probably realize that they're not going to get that kill. She's just too close to the tower as of this very moment, which is very wise of her. Probably saw the Brewmaster making his way down there, and as a result, just tower hugging as hard as humanly possible. Taking Gander at the last hits once again, 7-1 on the Tidehunter, not doing a fantastic job, especially with the 26-3 comparison going down right there. And Tidehunter is fairly effective against the Spiderlings because they do pretty much no damage to him because of that Kraken Shell. However, the Broodmother is still perfectly capable of doing damage, and as a result is having a hard time getting those last hits, which he oh so desperately needs. And once again, Broodmother having that Soul Ring in hand, allowing her to spam the Spiderlings as much as possible. And Tidon might take a fall at this very moment. It seems like should be able to escape to safety without too much problems. Too many problems, rather. But still going to go on her as much as possible. Go on him as much as possible, rather. Do as much harassment as can be dealt. Dazzle pulling the creep wave. Want to pull it back as far as possible. Enchantress still sitting around in the jungle. Things have settled down for both sides. VS waiting in the sides, wanting to wait for that Windrunner to move a little bit too far forward. However, she's disappeared from the lane, securing herself a regeneration rune, even though completely unnecessary due to the full HP and mana. And looks like we're going to rotate to mid and see if we can pick up a gank on this Brewmaster. However, that might be a little bit easier said than done, considering that we have the Shadow Demon to reinforce, which can, of course, disrupt a shackled target, breaking the shackles and allowing for an easy peasy escape. Brewmaster illusions. It seems, are we going to engage? I don't think we are. VS is hiding in the sidelines as well, staying very close, don't want to stray too far. Dazzle's going to come in to assist. And are we just going to transition into pushing these lanes? I'm surprised we're not coming in from this more down the river here. But then again, Dazzle's not really the one to engage in a team fight. Unless his Shadow Poison is level 3. Poison Touch, it is indeed. Which makes it incredibly powerful. It jumps up significantly once you get it to level 3. Seems bottom are just sitting at this middle tower. They're not really doing much. I thought they were going to go for a gank, but it seems that is not the case. Windrunner has transitioned back to the bottom lane and is now harassing Mirana as much as possible. 7-3 last hits there on the Windrunner rather, while on Mirana 33-9, so getting plenty of farm over at this bottom lane. Not that much that Windrunner is doing about it. Going to deny that Healing Savage. It's too late anyway. Health is back to full. We have Tidehunter transitioning to bottom as well as a Shadow Demon. Looks like we want to get a gank on this Windrunner. However, once again, she's very close to the tower. Tower hugging as hard as humanly possible. And we need to wait for her to pull herself out of position. It seems it's not going to happen. Dazzle here to reinforce. They might just settle for pushing this tower. However, with Dazzle there in the fray, doing so might be a little bit more difficult with just 2 heroes. Evoker, however, looking a bit vulnerable with reinforcements being a good distance away. In the meantime, things there's not much happening in all honesty. Double damage going to be secured here by the Shadow Demon. This might be the what's the word? What they need to want to engage and push on this tower. However, Windrunner playing it safe once again. I'm going to let the Brewmaster, the man with the bottle, pick up this delicious rune of double damage. And how's it going to be utilized? I'm going to wait for someone to push forward. Windrunner is getting a little bit more daring than she was a few moments ago, but it seems we're going to go to mid. And pushing this lane could always be a good idea. And it seems like it will be the case. However, Dazzle is very close by and Enchantress is moving in as well. Are we going to press the issue? It seems we are. We are going to push the middle lane in the meantime. We're just exchanging blows over at the top. Nothing significant happening just yet. The Brewmaster still better be careful. There's a lot of death waiting for him up here. He doesn't want to push forward. He does have that double damage, but it won't matter. However, he's level 6. He has the split, which is definitely going to give him the upper hand in the next team fight that they engage in. Ravage is also up for that Tide, currently sitting on level 7, and very little use was made of that double damage. In the meantime, we want to gank Broodmother. However, Broodmother is nowhere to be found. She's all the way back. We have Dust's Disappearance in hand for the Shadow Demon, but Broodmother's in the jungle, so they're going to be waiting here for nothing, getting no XP, getting no gold for this. Is that a Spiderling? I love that. Using the Spiderling to scout out, make sure that is it safe or is it not? Is there someone waiting for the gank? And yes, indeed there is. And now that they realize they've been spotted, they're just going to back off. Let's return back to the lane. Maybe we'll push out this middle lane. We'll have to wait and see. Windrunner finally getting a chance to get a little bit of free farm over at this bottom lane. No contestation going on right here. Tidehunter's finally got a good chunk of last hits as well. 39-8. But compared to Broodmother's, her CS is just an awful lot better. Yes, indeed. And Shadow Poison going off there, going to give a little bit of vision. They realize that Enchantress is there, and that would make ganking just that little bit more difficult. Windrunner's moments away from getting caught out, but very wisely teleporting the hell out of there before death rolls in, which it was indeed going to do. This game's being very passive thus far. No team's really engaging. We're both really just sitting back and farming, which is a little bit disappointing. I was expecting POTM to capitalize on their currently superior team composition of lots of push. A hell of a lot more. I would be expecting them to be pushing all of the towers as hard as they possibly can, as well as ganking as much as possible whenever Windrunner gets, or rather whenever Enchantress gets a nice creep in her hand. But it seems it's not the case. It seems we're just going to sit back, we're going to farm, which is actually really horrible because there's nothing entertaining about it at all. Neither team pushing themselves forward. Cold Snap going down there on the Shadow Demon, Disruption going to land. The Curse getting down there as well, but a nice Tornado picking them all up in the air, and the Thunderclap missing everyone. Shackle doesn't latch, and the EMP and the Ravage going to go down as well. The Split going to be had. Enchantress taking a fall right there, and they're both continuing to engage on them. Invoker's getting in a couple of right clicks down there, which should be ultimately A-OK, being lifted up in the air by the Panda there. Currently going on the Windrunner. Windrunner very low in HP at this very moment. The Rock going to stun the Enchantress, who return to the fray. However, now they're currently going on the Brewmaster. Brewmaster will pay for the kill that he got, and he rapidly takes a fall. Windrunner picking the kill up right there with the power shot. Ah, action feels good, ladies and gentlemen.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
In the meantime, the bottom tower is taking a lot of damage in that little engagement. This is the annoyance of Broodmother. Once a team fight happens, once every single member of the team can be called for, then you push a tower, and you will take it down if no reinforcements come in, and chances are they're distracted by the team fight like we were just then. And the next wave of Spiderlings, once she builds up a nice little army, Broodmother's going to successfully take down this tower. And in the meantime, POTM Bottom are pushing down this middle tower, so it puts them in a bad situation. Nice little Tornado going down, Cold Snap, as well as a nice Shackle, and the Shadow Poison Touch going down there as well, just in case. So many disables to land on that poor Shadow Demon. They definitely don't want to make sure he disrupts himself to safety. Tidehunter coming in to reinforce, however, I don't think there's all that much that he's going to be able to do. In the meantime, we're trying to get a gank there on the Broodmother, however, that invisibility is just oh too good. We have no sentry wards in hands, nor any dust, no revealance of any sort at all, but in the meantime, we still... Smoke gank going to come in. We see two very vulnerable heroes sitting here in the mid, especially the Brewmaster, who's caught way out of position, and he is dead. He is so incredibly dead. He has to try and run his way to safety. Thunderclap to go down. His best bet would be to run in the tree, but Shackle comes in. Poison Touch as well, and the Dazzle heal as well, and no hope, ladies and gentlemen. No hope indeed. The Brewmaster taking a very hard fall right there. Tidehunter winning position, wants to get a nice Ravage. It is on cooldown, however, and the team's moving in. They're daring indeed. Shackle doesn't latch, however. Poison Touch landing down on the Morana. Dust is being out. There's no hiding for that Broodmother. The Curse are going to go down, but that Insatiable Hunger healing him up so fast. Disruption just in time, as well as his Shallow Grave, which means no kill for you. And the Shadow Demon takes a fall too. 3 for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Possible bottom. They're about to take a fourth, trying to leap away to safety. One right click will do it. Trying to use that ulti to hide, but there is no hope indeed. And 4 for nothing. I think POTM Bottom have gotten themselves a very nice score. Yes, indeed. Invoker pushing this bottom lane, getting a nice bit of free farm, not even being part of that engagement. And they've taken down a tower. They took down 4 members of the Copenhagen Wolves. It's not looking good for them at this very moment. And they're going to keep pressing the issue. They may as well. This is the pushing power of the composition that POTM Bottom have. I'm just surprised it took them this long to start capitalizing on it. But yes, indeed, you do not want to let your team, the opposing team, get such strong pushing machines. I'm so surprised that it took them that long to get the Enchantress and get the Broodmother, because they're such incredibly good heroes. Windrunner about to get caught out, but should be able to Windrun to safety. A couple of right clicks to come out of the Morana, but a Shackle, a nice Shackle indeed, and in comes the Shadow Demon to reinforce, or rather the Dazzle to reinforce. Enchantress is there as too, but it seems they're not going to engage. Arrow going out, is going to connect, it just barely misses a cluster of heroes going on right there. And safety for them. For the team of Bottom. Narrowly escaping that arrow. If it there would be 1 dead hero. 5-second stun would have been from that long range arrow. In the meantime, it looks like maybe the Copenhagen Wolves want to transition to bottom, gank on this Invoker, but it seems it's not the case. We're just going to push out this middle lane. Tidehunter sticking at the top, sticking to his guns as he has been doing the entirety of the game. Just going to get a bit of free farm. Going on the Brewmaster once again. Tornado going to pick him up. Is the EMP going to land as well? No, it will not. Does he have a Sunstrike? He's not going. He's going Quas Wex. The EMP is right on his head, however. Couple more HP he has, however, Dazzle coming in from the sidelines. Death is going to roll in for this Brewmaster, but it's very intelligently teleporting into the trees, using that regeneration rune, which brings him back to full HP, and will allow him to go straight back into the lane without having to retreat at all. I'm somewhat surprised by the Quas Wex. Blink to Thunderclap, rather, bringing Invoker straight to half HP. But he'll be fine, he'll be fine. Back to what I was saying, I was a little surprised about the Quas Wex Invoker. There aren't that many mana-dependent heroes on the Copenhagen Wolves, while I guess but I guess it's true that they do need someone to engage, and a tornado into EMP is exactly something that can do that. So I guess it's understandable. Broodmother having a nice army of spiderlings, however, not feeling committed enough to push down to this bottom tower. So we're just going to send the spiderlings to the jungle and do a little bit of delicious farming. Yes, indeed. We see a couple hiding in the sideline. Nice shadow poison going out, spotting the Windrunner right there. At least that's what I assumed what it did. I'm going to back off to the safety of the tower. Tidehunter is here to reinforce, and the next engagement could go in favor of the Copenhagen Wolves if we get a nice Ravage off. The pot and bottom are moving in. They're hungry for kills. They're hungry for delicious blood and gold and XP of the enemies. Power Shot going out, revealing exactly who is where and what's there. And Shadow Demon's getting caught well out of position. Mana Boots, Disruption going to land as well. EMP going to go down. I don't think it matters all that much. Disruption's gone down as well. Dazzle Heal going down. He should be fine. A nice shackle. What the hell is that? It looks really weird, but I think he got shackled to a tree. Just the animation was bloody weird. And neither team takes a fall in that small little battle. However, that might change. We have Enchantress, who's daring indeed, and a nice Centaur stomp. Very unlucky right there. Reinforcements are on their way, however. Troll Trap to come down. Invoker's in as well. Cold Snap and Magic Missile to land. It doesn't matter. Power Shot taking up the kill right there. Easy peasy. And now with the Illusion Rune being bottled, we have extra reinforcements, extra numbers to bolster the tower and assist in the next team fight, and assist in securing this tower over the bottom lane. The last tier 1 tower standing for the Copenhagen Wolves, and it most definitely wants to be acquired by the team of Pot and Bottom. And look at this army right here. We've got the Troll Darkseer. We have lots and lots of skeletons. There's of course Raise Dead ability. Is very good, and it's great for pushing, as we can see right here. It's a lot of extra things that the tower has to kill, and they can leave the creeps to do what they want to go right now on someone. Tidehunter's being shackled, the EMP landing right on him, and the Cold Snap going down as well. A couple more right clicks will take him. Poison Touch going to land as well, but a nice Ravage catching them all out. A couple more right clicks. Dazzle falls like a stone as the Brewmaster blinks in, and Poison claps. Or rather, Thunder claps. Invisibility, Mirana all going to go down. Arrow going to land. Is it going to hit the Invoker? Just barely dodge right there. Disruption and Curse going to land there on the Windrunner. Getting very low in HP, but should ultimately be A-okay. Be able to Windrun the hell out to safety. However, Enchantress in a not so great situation. She is about to get caught out. The split has worn off, and she might actually get away. Do we have an arrow to come in from the Mirana? It is currently on cooldown, but why is she not moving anywhere? I think she was microing that Centaur, getting it in position, possibly trying to bait. And they're unable to pick up a kill there on the Enchantress, being able to successfully escape from a very dire situation. In the meantime, we're pushing out this middle tower, and hello, top tower. Broodmother pushing out as hard as humanly possible, being brought to half health. Broodmaster doing everything he can to try and defend, but he just can't withstand against the illusions and the spiders, and he might actually take a fall. Not, so very close. I was surprised we didn't use a poison spawn spiderlings ability on him. But the tier 2 tower will take a fall over in the middle lane, or maybe not. It's getting very low in HP, and it might just be just barely surviving that. I guess they didn't want to commit in case it got brought down to deny range, and then they were forced to back off. It wouldn't have been particularly good. Broodmother just continuing to push this bottom lane as hard as possible. Illusions being out as well. Mantis Style being in hand there for the Broodmother. Clap going in. Insatiable Hunger being popped off as well. The Broodmother could probably very easily kill off this Brewmaster, but isn't quite daring enough to do so. Reinforcements coming in from the side. Broodmother doing an awful lot of damage to this tower, being brought down to half HP. Broodmother very wisely backing off, realize we've gotten a nice victory. Let's retreat just for the moment. And both teams are really, for the most part, backing off at the current moment. Neither wanting to commit. Now's the time to have a look at what items do everyone have. Enchantress looks like working her way towards a Bloodstone, maybe, or possibly Aghanim's. We'll have to wait and see. That Imps, of course, is a very powerful ability. Invoker working his way towards a 4-staff. Mirana working her way towards a Mantis style. Shadow Demon having nothing, but it's fairly standard. VS echoes that statement all too true. Windrunner having a mech. And who else haven't we brought? Of course, Tidehunter. Standard. What's on the courier? Nothing. Okay. Have I covered everyone? I think I've covered everyone. I'm probably missing someone. It doesn't feel like I've covered everyone. I'm just going to say that. And of course, we've got the Blink Dagger to come in from the Brewmaster. And looks like we're going to take Roshan. Roshan will be fairly easy. He's floating in the air for some reason, but let's not worry about that. It does not affect anything. And Pot and Bottom can easily take Roshan. There's no one here. There's no wards to come in. The Copenhagen Wolves have little to no idea that this is going on. This ward does not have... Actually, does this ward... I don't think it has vision. I think it cuts off here. So we have no idea that they're doing Roshan. However, they might suspect such a thing is going on. When the entire team of Pot and Bottom is missing, they're probably not sitting back and farming, considering how far forward the lanes are pushed back, and they of course can't all push the towers. Immortality being secured there by the Windrunner, curiously enough. I think I would have given it to, I don't know, the Invoker or someone, but let's not complain. Let's push forward. Windrunner's going to have an awful lot of power. Medallion of Courage in her hand as well. And we're going to go on this Mirana, who's a foolish individual indeed, but her game sense is just that little bit too good. I think the power shot may have given her away. She leaps into the trees and TPs the hell out to safety. Counterwarding action going on is very attractive and hot, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Meantime, Invoker might get himself caught out of position. However, he retreats off very quickly. Love that. Broodmother continuing to push down this middle lane. Mirana waiting. The Starfall doing a nice chunk of damage to the Spiderling Wave. However, Broodmother is capable of dishing out large amounts of damage, and the team of the Copenhagen Wolves are coming back to reinforce. They want to get a kill on this Broodmother, so they stop pushing this lane back. Do we have any form of detection? Yes, Dusted Appearance has gone out, and the arrow to stun there, as well as the Purge, and the Broodmother takes a fall very rapidly. No hope for her at all. And this is going to give them a little bit of insurance. Finally, the Copenhagen Wolves are going to be able to do something without having to worry about that Broodmother taking a barracks and a tower. So you can think, finally, we have a bit of room to breathe, and that death of Broodmother is exactly what that was. Tornado missing there on the Tidehunter right there. However, it did pick up the Mirana and the VS. Mirana being a little bit low on HP, probably going to back off. We don't have any mechs in hands for the team of the Copenhagen Wolves, do we? The Copenhagen Wolves, no mechs. Taking a look at the gold, we have got a 10k advantage going in favor for Pot and Bottom with a 7.5k, a little bit over that to be said for the experience graph. Or did I get that wrong? No, that was XP. In the meantime, Broodmaster, very lucky to have that invisibility room in hand. Would have been a very dead Broodmaster if it wasn't for that. Very lucky indeed. I'm still curious about this Windrunner and Aegis, but can't complain. Arrow to come in from the Mirana, as well as a Thunderclap going to land in there. Mirana takes the fall very rapidly. Magic Missile to pick up the final kill right there. However, the Aegis is, of course, standing around right here. And we're going to have to kill Windrunner. What the hell is that? What a shackle is that? Nice Ravage to come down as well. And the Curse is landing, and the Shallow Grave to save the life of the Windrunner right there. Very nicely done. Mirana getting low on HP. The Imp's doing so much damage. I think that might pick up the kill. No, just barely escaping, using invisibility to escape right there. In the meantime, Shadow Demon takes a fall, not able to pick up a kill there on the Windrunner, very low in HP, a nice Shallow Grave timing going down right there. Tornado picking up the Vengeful Spirit, but no further damage will be had, rather. Meantime, Broodmother coming in to sweep up the last couple of stragglers trying to escape. Tidehunter falls very rapidly, forcing the split out of the Brewmaster right here, which will allow him to escape, but it means that there will be no split for the next team fight. And Broodmother is just going to go in this tower. Top tower taking a fall, and they're going to push their way through the middle tower. Arrow not hitting anyone, I don't believe, and Broodmother are just going to escape out of there without too many problems. And we have to rotate the middle tower is going to take a full shadow. Poison touch to land on there on the Mirana. Stun's going to happen in the next couple of moments. VS hiding and just waiting right next to her just to protect. And this tower is going to fall very rapidly. Mischance, come on, just walk up there. It's not that hard. Shadow Demon moving in, but a nice Tornado picking them up and stopping them in their tracks. The Purchase land on the Dazzle. Shallow Grave to go down as well. Was that a little bit too late? No, the disruption was being had as well. Shackle, but it doesn't last. Broodmother coming in to do some damage. A Poison Touch. Shadow Demon absolutely popping. Going at the Mirana, leaping away to safety. And the Broodmaster is the next target in hand. However, I don't think they're going to be able to secure that kill. Tidehunter porting in. But there's not much that you can do. Ravage is on cooldown, and a Ravage right now would be absolutely perfect. Broodmother beating on the top lanes right here. Fortification going to land. Blink to Thunderclap going to go down. A nice chunk of damage, and Tidehunter blinking as well, but there's no Ravage, so they don't have to worry about anything. Shallow Grave to land there on the Enchantress, and the Imp's doing so much damage to that Tidehunter as well as the Medallion of the Courage. Poison Touch going down as well, and the one last gush of effort. However, the right click takes him down. Invoker might pay for it, however. Hang on a second. Oh, that was Tidehunter. But indeed, they just simply run away. They don't have the damage they need to take down even the low HP heroes. Broodmother moving in, the dust going out to make sure he does not escape, and the Shadow Demon going to move in there on their Curse. He's gone down as well, but the damage is just not enough. A nice EMP to land as well, and a Shackle disruption just in time. VS takes a fall, and so will the Shadow Demon. Going in on the Invoker, Moran's got a lot of survivability on her. However, that Shallow Grave is the most annoying thing to deal with. Poison Touch going to go down. Are they going to get a kill? I don't think she is. A Poison Touch stun has landed, and the Broodmother comes in to save the day using the Spiderling spawn to pick up the kill there on that poor Morana. Invoker buying straight back into the game. Want to resume back, straight back into pushing. Yes, indeed. Blink to Thunderclap. But it's not going to do much, just going to weaken the creep wave ever so slightly. Now's the time for the time ranking, ladies and gentlemen. The faster you can kill them, or the longer it takes for them to kill you, all factors in. And it seems we're not having a team that leads. Clap doing a nice chunk of damage. VS stun going down. However, she gets melted by that insatiable hunger, managing to escape just barely. The illusion chasing after. One right click will do it, and the Spiderling spawns comes in and takes the kill right there. However, Broodmother might pay for it. Dust is going down. The Purge is going to land as well. A few more right clicks will take the kill there on the Broodmother. Invoker has left the game. I think he thinks they've won. And it's just like, screw this. I don't care at all. The throne still stands, however. But I do think... okay, pause the game. Pause coming in, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to wait for the Invoker to reconnect. So it seems it wasn't just him like, we're fine. I'm just going to leave. We've won this, ladies and gentlemen, but no, it seems it was a mistake of some kind, an error, an unfortunate circumstance, disconnect, so on and so forth. Pause gives me time to drink. It's fantastic. My commentary has been a little bit lackluster today. I'm not entirely sure. I think my brain's just not functioning as it probably should be. Hopefully in the next game, which I'll probably do right after this one, it will have recovered. Maybe I'll have something to eat first. However, I'm not hungry. Had a big bowl of breakfast. Delicious. Daedalus in hand. Who is that going to? I have no idea. It doesn't tell me the owner. And it just says it's going back to base. I think the courier may... Oh, it could have been Invoker's courier, maybe. Why would Invoker get a Daedalus? I think someone screwed them out of the courier. Does anyone have items in their stash? Let's see. I'm going to guess it's Broodmother's Daedalus. Oh no, Broodmother's dead. It must have died while the courier was on their way there, and now the courier's on its way back. To give that Daedalus. What's up? Says the man who goes by the name of Calculus. Sorry, pink player DC'd. Yes, indeed. So we're going to have to wait. Hopefully this pause won't be too long, especially considering that the game is about to end, let's be honest here. And having a long pause moments before a game ends, good lord, that's probably the worst possible thing that could happen. There's so little to talk about, unfortunately. Don't really have a co-caster. I should probably do a little bit more research on the team so I can expand on exactly who and what they are. I don't know much about POTM Bottom, however, the Copenhagen Wolves, as stated before, formerly known as the Tough Bananas, they sort of came out of nowhere and started killing everyone, delivering some fantastic plays. You can see a lot of their really solid play over at the Dota 2 Internationals. Of course, then they went to DreamHack and they performed pretty poorly, unfortunately, and things weren't looking so great for the team that was formerly known as the Tough Bananas. They were unable to find a sponsor, they couldn't get any prize money from DreamHack, and they were on the verge of disbanding. However, SteelSeries, in case you couldn't tell by their, the SteelSeries tag right next to their name, decided, let's sponsor these guys. They're pretty solid at the game of Dota 2. I'm sure will be a worthy investment. Yes, indeed. And now they changed their name from the Tough Bananas to the Copenhagen Wolves. And they, of course, a team that hailed from Denmark, not Sweden. I said Sweden before. It was really bad. It was silly of me. And I really hope this game resumes soon. What items do we have in hand for the team of the Copenhagen Wolves? Manta style about to be achieved there by the Marana. So it seems hopefully the Invoker will be rejoining very shortly. Brewmaster working his way towards a BKB. Tidehunter finally having a nice Blink Dagger to put himself in a nice position for those Ravages. And it is off cooldown as well. Taking a gander over the side of POTM Bottom, we have still that 4-staff in hand for the Windrunner. For the Invoker, rather. 2.8k in the bank for the Windrunner. There's plenty of gold to be spent. Probably going to go for a Sheepstick next. It would be an ideal item to pick up under all circumstances. Of course, Broodmother, Daedalus on the way on that Courier, with Enchantress having that Aghanim Scepter, which of course means that that Impetus is going to do loads more damage, and it's a very powerful ultimate. Scales nicely in towards the later stages of the game. Enchantress, of course, capable of dishing out large amounts of damage with that ability, and Dazzle just having a Ring of Aquila. And they said a few moments ago that Invoker has returned to Skype, so hopefully the game will resume and we'll get to see who the victor is. Spoiler, I think it's POTM Bottom. We can take another gander at the gold. A 20k gold advantage with a closing in on 13,000 for the XP. They're definitely well ahead. And is there much that the team of the Copenhagen Wolves can do about it? I have my doubts. Let's do what we do when we... never mind. Invoker has reconnected to the game. In a few moments' time, there will be an unpause. Yes, indeed, and it will be glorious. Go, go, go. PGG, yes, indeed. Let us move forward and ahead of this game. Random laughing, very creepy. Copenhagen Wolves defending as best that they possibly can. Even the mega creeps are giving them problems as of right now. Okay, frogged. Okay, I should stop laughing at that silliness. Still pretty funny though. The final push of death is going to come in from pod and bottom, going to focus on this bottom tower. The top racks has fallen, the middle racks has fallen. We want to go for the bottom racks, ladies and gentlemen. Smoke is going to come out, using the Marana as bait by the looks of it. Tornado going down, a nice Ravage, Blink to Ravage as well, Blink to Thundercrab. This is a nice engagement for the Copenhagen Wolves. Shellgrave to go down, Ice Wall to let them escape just that little bit better. However, Marana is right on the money, trying to go down there. Dazzle takes a fall, the Invoker manages to escape. The Impetus doing so much damage coming from that Enchantress. Nice power shot, the Purge as well as the Curse to land there on the Windrunner. A few right clicks will take it down very rapidly. Sunstrike going down, not sure where it landed or where it was or anything like that. Impetus doing so much damage and the fall being taken there by the VS. However, the Enchantress will pay for it. One right click, Thunderclap picking up the kill right there. Fantastic engagement for the Copenhagen Wolves. However, it's not going to be enough. Invoker launching a Tornado in there because why the hell not? However, blinking out to safety, the Brewmaster did indeed. Or maybe it was the Tidehunter. Nevertheless, a nice engagement for the Copenhagen Wolves. However, I don't think it's going to do much, just delay the inevitable, and so much damage to come out of that poor Broodmother. Or indeed to be received by that poor Marana. Dropping like a stone oh so rapidly. Brewmaster moving in, thinking maybe it's not a good idea to try and take this on, because she's pretty powerful. Especially with that insatiable hunger, with the Daedalus, the Mantis style, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of damage that's going to be had. Once again, the joinDOTA admins reminding them not to leave before the game ends, rather. I think the last game was the first game where not everyone left as soon as the GG was called. And Broodmother doesn't really have to worry about anything at this moment. Dazzle's in the sidelines wanting, just going to give a little bit of backup and reinforcements. Broodmother doesn't have to worry. They don't have the ability, the power that they need to take her down, especially when that insatiable hunger goes off. This will be the final push of death. Ravage is on cooldown. The split, however, is available. No, it's actually on cooldown as well. A nice shackle to come in. These hack shackles just keep landing. And the Tornado going to follow that. Fantastic placement. And the Sun going to land down as well. VS taking a fall and moving on the engagements. And the Brewmaster takes a fall very rapidly. The Broodmother currently going on the Marana. Marana going to escape to the safety of the Fountain. Titan moving in to try and defend as well as the Brewmaster. And the Broodmother's taking a nice chunk of damage, which should ultimately be a-okay. Blink to Thunderclap, or maybe not, just a few right clicks and try and do as much damage as humanly possible. This middle tower, this bottom tower, however, will take a fall. Marana trying to help out. However, no one cares. They're just sort of like, I don't care about your stuns at all. Arrow going to hit the creep right there. Shadow Poison going to land. It was nicely dodged right there by the Mantis style. And a Shackle not latching, however. Impede is doing lots of damage to the Brewmaster. And we're going to move on the Broodmother. We are not indeed. Dazzle ulti going down, give them a little bit of armor. Ulti going to come in from the Marana, blinking to Thunderclap once again, trying to defend as best as possible, and a nice Ravage to come in from the Tidehunter. Windrunner taking a fall, and a Shallow Grave to land on the Dazzle to prevent him from falling as well. And Peter's still doing so much damage. Sunstrike, because why the hell not? Didn't hit anything, wasn't near anything. Sun going to come in. Enchantress might take a fall. A couple more right clicks would take it down, but the sprites are not enough. Yes, indeed. Another nice engagement for the Copenhagen Wolves, and their Invoker might be the next one to fall. However, the Broodmother reinforcements have come in, and Shadow Demon pops like a balloon almost instantly to stun to land there on the Marana, probably from the Shadow Poison. Yes, indeed. Trying to run away from the spider should be a-okay with the safety of that fountain being in hand. VS will, however, take a fall, unable to withstand against the power coming in from that Broodmother. And I think the GGs are about to start being called. And I don't know what sneaking is on about. In the meantime, Marana died. Again. Broodmother being an absolute force of destruction. Yes, indeed. Tidehunter trying to do a little bit of damage where he can, however, it is just going to result in his death once again. The final tower has fallen, the Ancient will fall. Blink to split to Thunderclap, yes indeed. Dazzle also is going to make that a little bit more difficult. Tornado lifting the Broodmother into the air. I want to go on that Dazzle as much as possible. Blink to Gush coming in as well. The Dazzle's still alive and still has that Shallow Grave, however, the VS stun comes in and stops him right in his track. Disruption to land there on the Invoker, creating replicates indeed. And the creeps are doing so much damage. Shadow Demon taking a fall, and the VS will do so as well. A couple of HP, the Sunstrike not being in the right position. VS's daring doesn't care, swapping them in, but it's not close enough for stuffing out to safety. And the Spawn Spiderling is going to take the kill there up, with a triple kill being in hand for the Broodmother. And I think this is looking pretty GG-ish at this very moment. The entire team of the Copenhagen Wolves have been taken down with only one, paying for one. Pot and bottom did indeed. GG, well played going out. This is the second game, ladies and gentlemen, in the defense series where the other team didn't leave once they called out the GG. It's very good. They're learning, ladies and gentlemen. However, we still did have a pause at the start of the game. The last game was even better because we didn't actually have a pause at the start and people didn't leave. It was perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Nevertheless, my name has been Toshley. This has been the defense. The group stage is, yes indeed, the Copenhagen Wolves going up against Pot and Bottom, with Pot and Bottom taking the win quite convincingly. My name has been Toshley once again, and a special shout out to Razor and BenQ for sponsoring this tournament, and joinDOTA.com for being the organizer of it. I'll see you guys in the next game.